Hello and welcome back to the Builders Academy, here with me, Lemon Slice, and today we got a fun one. We are doing towers, how to build towers, how to be creative with them, all the different types and shapes that you can create, and I'm going to be giving you all of my best tips for towers. So without further ado, guys, first thing I want to do is say, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Look at this ratio, it's pretty nasty. And also, if you haven't watched the SMP, go check out the SMP. A brand new episode just came out this week. Without further ado, guys, let's get into it. And the first thing I'm going to show you is the base of the towers and how to get the shape correct. So when one goes to build a tower, the first thing you need to do is lay out the shape on the ground. And what I've created here for you is all of the shapes that I have personally used for towers, and all of them are great ideas, starting with the smallest, which is a 3x3 ring of walls, and you could even shrink that down to a 2x2 for a tower, and that is the absolute smallest you could go, but this is the smallest I like to go. And then the 3x3, and then this version of the 3x3 where they're out one block, and this is my personal favorite shape for towers right there, so keep that in mind. And then you have the same one with a block in between them, and then we have the 5x5. Now this one's more square and is used in different ways, but then we over here have the 5 with one block, and then we have the enormous big boy right here, the big 5-2-1-2-5, whatever you want to call that. That is for absolutely enormous towers, and typically I'll only use this if I'm making the base of the tower really large, and then put something like this in the middle, and then shrink it down to the smaller one like this, and have it like a tiered tower. If you want to take a quick screenshot, I would right here, and I'll even fly over top so you can get the correct dimensions. So here's all of the nice little shapes that you can use for towers. So today I'm going to be picking a shape and building a tower from top to bottom, showing you all of my tips and how to build some of the tricky things like roofs and other towers sticking out of them and stuff like that, guys. So first off, let's pick a base shape, which is the first step you should take when you're making a tower. As I said before, this one right here is my favorite, so that's what I'm going to use, and we're going to start over here facing this way, and I'm going to use this same shape. So 1 2 3, and then diagonal 3 again, and right there we have the base of the tower. The next thing you do is bring your tower up, and right here I brought it up about 15 more blocks. So right here we have the cylinder layout for our tower. The next thing that you need to do is you need to make the bottom of the tower a little bit bigger than the rest. So there's 3 things you can do here to make it look bigger. The first one is you can just outline the base of the tower with stairs, which I will show you in a second. The second is you can use some plants like this, make some planters all around the bottom and stuff like that. And the third is you could do some kind of design with stone, have it come up and do all sorts of crazy things. So let me show you a couple of those examples on my tower. So here's our first example, and obviously the easiest one, but it also works really well. So there you go, just stairs all the way around the base and the bottom, and it looks really good and does exactly what we want. Open up the bottom a little bit wider than the top. Example number 2 is the plants, and right here is an example of the planters and stuff you could make. Obviously you can make different looking ones in this. Don't even use wood, you could use hoppers and stuff, or cauldrons to hold your leaves, but I think this looks decent, and again, it works well, exactly what we're trying to get done. But guys, my favorite way to go about it is just like this. Just make some interesting mosaic stone-ish kind of stuff, and the way I start doing this is I just start placing some stuff like this, use some walls, maybe put some stairs in there like this, maybe I'll put another stair in the middle, and then some slabs on top, and then you just kind of start copying this around to all of the sides, and then do something similar on the corners. For example, the corners are just a block, a wall, and a slab, and the front is just this strange little design I came up with, and when you pull away, it looks really nice from all sides, and it makes the bottom go wider. So for today, I'm going to be using this one, and for all of these guys, you're also going to want to add an entrance, so we can just pop out all of these just like this, add in an upside down stair there, and we can go ahead and put our door right there. There we go. Now we have a door in, and we have the base wide. So the next step, guys, is the windows, and I'm going to give you some tips for windows and decorations like that. So I've come up with a bunch of different window designs that I've used in the past, and the simplest one is stair, and then windows in between, and that one's super easy and simple, and it looks decent. Then over here, it's the same thing, just with some trap doors, or you could even do slabs, and then some open fence gates in the middle. Over here we have some trap doors on the outside of 2 stairs, just like that, and how you do this is just put blocks in the middle and trap doors on the outside, and that one also looks really nice from all angles. So those are some of the simple ones, and now we'll move on to more of the wide, interesting ones. And right here is the classic, the stairs, and fences in between, and this is just like this, 2 upside down ones and a normal stair in the middle. And this is my favorite, the classic, and you can even add another stair on the top and the bottom to make it just a little bit larger and look a little bit cooler. So there you go. And then over here we have something incredibly similar, except the stairs are facing a different direction and it's 3 tall. You're doing wall, fence, wall, just like that. And you could do this on that one, just make it 1 taller, but this one's also another cool design. Finally guys, you can even use lecterns. They look so cool as like a little railing with posts and stuff, and I think using them for windows looks really nice, as you can see right here. So this is the window design I chose to go with, and once you do that, you can also add in some decorations. Maybe you want to add some hanging leaves or some hanging plants or something like that. You could even take chains right here and maybe your walls, and you can do something like this. I've done this before, where you put a wall and then a chain running up the corners of this piece right here, and once you get all the way to the top, you can do the same exact thing where you just place down a wall to hold it in place like that, and a full block on top. And you can do that on all sides just to give a little bit more detail on the sides of your building if you want to do that. And I know I've been talking fast and talking a lot, but hopefully you are getting a lot out of this, learning how to build towers. But next thing we're going to do is talk about how to make the roof, because I feel like that's where a lot of people fall short. So the things that I use for my roofs are going to be stairs and slabs to outline it, which is going to be spruce because that's the color I'm using. Sometimes I'll use trapdoors, and I'll show you on what. And then you need at least 1 roof color, and maybe 2 would be better if they complement each other. And here's an example of some of the great 2-color combinations using mostly terracotta and then some wool also, but these all look really nice and can be used together for roofs of towers. Finally guys, you're also going to need an anvil, a wall, a fence, and an iron bar. Now if you're in survival and you can't afford the anvil, don't use it. You can just use a wall or a block. But for the walls and the fences guys, make sure they do match your build in the way that they're supposed to, and also make sure you get either an iron bar or a chain for the very tip. So we go up to the top of the building, and the first thing I like to do is bring 1 slab out from all of the sides of the tower, just like this, and go all the way around doing this. Once you have that, you can either leave it like that or choose to place 1 more block out, and this is typically what I do just to create a little bit of a different shape, but it looks good if you don't as well. Next, it's time to start building up the tower. So I'll just take 1 of my terracotta colors and I'll go all the way around just like this. And what you need to think about is it sloping. So right now we have it just like this, a small one. So what I'm going to do is leave these corner ones at this height and bring the rest of the other ones though up 1 block just like this. And now we can take a step back and think about what we want this to do. So now what I want this to do is probably come up 1 in all of the middle blocks, but then all the other ones we're just going to bring in 1 instead, just like this, and then up, just like that. Now we can take another step back and take a look at it, and I think it looks nice. We're going to do the same exact thing though. We're just going to make sure we have 1 on the very tip here like this, and then bring it up a little bit more so you can see we have this shape here. So we're going to bring it up maybe 2, and then you can take a step back and look at it, and you can say, yep, that's looking good. I think what we want to do is now just bring it into the middle and go up 3 with that, and we take a step back, and boom, look at that. That's perfect. Now I see a lot of people leaving their towers a little too stubby, so if you accidentally notice yourself doing this, what you need to do is bring it all up taller. So for example, if I think this is too stubby, I can bring this whole layer up 1 block and this whole layer up 2 blocks, for example, and then bring this one to 3 tall, and I can take a step back and you see, there we go, the tower's a little bit taller. And then I want to add a block on each side just like this, whoops, and there we go. Now the tower's a little bit taller and less stubby than it was before. So now underneath the top right here, what I want to do is cover up this pink piece right here. So I'll put a stair typically just like that on all of my sides of the tower. And then to decorate it a little extra more if you want, you can add another slab or something, but honestly, I think it looks fine with just that. Next, another thing you can do is replace a stair here, and on top of every block, put a stair just like this, a stair on top of every block, and then on every flat facing side put a trapdoor, and this will create a cool line going up the side of the tower. And if we do this on every side, it'll make it look really fancy, because it'll have this line going up and make it look like the tower is being held in place almost. So let's just take a look with those 2 and you can see exactly what I'm talking about there. So now comes the very top, and what we're going to do is anvil, wall, fence, and iron bar, and that just creates a nice sloping point right there, and boom, the tower roof is looking really awesome. But now it's time to mix in our secondary color, if you are using a secondary color, and you just go around and kind of place it in there. Make sure it's not too polka dotty, make sure it's somewhat grouped up just a little bit, because you don't want it to look too spotted. And boom, there we go, a little bit of texture and variation, and we'll even do one right there as well. So boom, there we go, the top of the tower is looking gorgeous. So you know how to make the shape of the tower, you know how to make the base wider, you know what kind of windows to make, and you know how to make a beautiful roof on the tower. And the last thing I want to show you is how to make another second little tower coming off of it. I'm not sure what it's really called. I'll pop a picture on screen right here of what exactly I'm talking about, but let's teach you how to do it. So first off, pick the side you want it on, and you're probably going to have to knock out your window. And then next, what you want to do is just kind of create a little almost staircase kind of arm coming over to where you want your tower to be. And I think just about there is good. So now what we can do is connect it up like this, and then we want to add a little bit of detail. So I'll put a stair here and replace this with a stair, and then put another stair under there. And then I can even do something like this to create extra detail right there. Boom. And boom, perfect. And now just a little bit of detail, something fancy coming out of it, and now we start actually building the tower. So the way I do this is I just create a little 3x3 just like this. This is a perfect size for the tower, and I'll bring it up maybe 2 blocks just like this. And then I'll bring it down another 1 or 2 blocks underneath and bring it to a point using stairs like this. Underneath, I'll also put a wall, a fence, and that maybe an iron bar, but I think it's fine just like that. And then at the very top, we'll do a roof similar to the exact same way we did it up here. So there we go, the simple roof on there as well, and you can do the trapdoors or stairs on this also. But finally, I like to pop in a little window right here, and you can even add in stairs on the top and the bottom. Let me do that real quick. This one's going to go here, and then this one's going to go underneath just like that. And there we go, another secondary tower coming off of the one we already have. And what a beautiful tower we have created. So thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of the Builders Academy, and hopefully these tips help you out. I tried to give you everything I could possibly think of that have helped me in the past with my towers. And if you do make some cool towers, send them over in the Discord. And there's also a rate my build section of the Discord where you can toss in your builds, and I'm going to be doing a video rating people's builds, so go ahead and do that. That'll be a really fun video to create. And if you're not subscribed and you've made it this far in the video, what are you doing? You should subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on the Builders Academy. Don't forget to check out the SMP, and peace out. It's been Lemon Slice.